145 PSI of oil pressure.
Drift Fest.
Drift Fest.
Drift Fest.
Drift Fest.
Drift Fest.
Drift Fest.
It's probably going to be one of the best events Australia has ever seen.
It's going to be the wildest on-track experience.
And we can't wait to battle it out on track.
I'm stoked to be a part of it.
I'm going to break Jason Farron's Skyline, and it's going to be amazing.
So this had an RB30DET Neo that was a freak motor. It was clearly a Wednesday build at Nissan. Yep. It lasted, I reckon, if I had to guess, somewhere over 50 track days, hundreds of tyres, been around Australia, Jason's favourite car, and I blew it up at Winton Raceway. So the backstory of this was we were taking it to Winton, we were going to test it so Jason could fly back from the States and he could head over to Perth for a motorsport festival there. We took it out for 2 laps. Jimbo was in the car. I was taking it easy because I knew it had to go to Perth. I wasn't sitting on Limmy or anything. As we entered that corner, over 100 Ks, the car shut off on me, and I kind of shat my pants at one point because I thought we were going to go for an adventure into the wall. Bump started the car, just rolled it in 3rd gear, sussed it out. IC7 dash, the Haltech probably shut the car off for a reason. So props to the Haltech gear. It was probably trying to save the motor. Into the double apex, it does it again. We heard the knock, and it was only at high RPM, so I didn't push it past there. I was like, all right, Jimbo, we're done. Something's going on here. Shut the car off. Let's get towed back to the pits. End of the day, Jimbo's got some exciting plans for this car. He's building an engine that he's always wanted to put together since he got back into drifting a while ago. He's going to explain it to you. It's a bit of a different package we've never done at Keeper Reet, so stay tuned to that one because that's going to be pretty damn cool. Be interesting to see what we get out of the new package, Jimbo. I'll leave it to you. I'm sure you're going to fill everyone in on what you've got to do for this.
So, a little bit of a backstory.
Everyone here loves story time.
I actually did used to drift. When I blew my RB20 in my drift car, I wanted to do what we are actually doing here, and you guys will be coming along for the ride. We've got to go buy a certain motor.
3 hours later.
Come with me, Jai. Boss has too much.
No way there's a motor all the way down there.
Right here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I gotta get it out.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm stuck.
We've got an RB30.
Where is it?
It's here.
Oh.
You wanna help me get it out? All right, so I just pulled up to NTS Automotive. Greg does all of our engine machining. So we're gonna drop off the motor and the head, leave it in his capable hands. Let's go meet Greg.
All right, guys, this is Greg from NTS. Do you just want to explain what we're doing here?
So we've got an RB30 block, which we're going to put an RB25 cylinder head on it, but there's a fair bit of work to go into making an RB30 to a /25. Meaning there's some waterways that have to be welded in the cylinder head. You've got water and oil, so we weld that up and we re-drill and weld the front of the cylinder head to put a lug on the front so we can external oil feed for the variable cam timing. Other than that, there's not a lot. And in the front, we machine the front collar off on the oil pump, and we put a Nitto new collar on there because that's part of the crankshaft. And if you can see the wear on the crank now, and this engine probably hasn't been stressed, that's one of the failures that they have in RB30s when you start to work them. So there's a little bit of work in it, but it's a great combination at the end of the end result, so it's great.
Yep. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for that, Greg. Don't come down to Greg. He's very busy. So we're going to add some more work to his workload. But thank you very much, Greg.
No worries.
All the best. Thanks.
1 eternity later.
All right, guys, so we got engine, head, crank, everything back from Greg at NTS. He's machined everything. He's also put, we'll show you later, a fitting in the front for the VCT. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to gap the rings. The top ring will be to 0.2 thou of an inch. The bottom ring will be 0.22 thou of an inch. The reason we up the gaps is because we are running boost, and because we are running boost means heat. and you need expansion. So I'm going to get to gapping the rings. You guys can come along for the ride. I'll get to that. Okay, so use the piston, push the ring down inside the bore. This is our top ring, so we'll be going to 0.2 on the top ring. As you can see, we can't fit the 0.2 in, so what we do is we take the ring out. We bring it over. Greg has lent us this ring gap. It's a diamond plated grinding tool, and we're going to grind a little bit off bit by bit until we get our 0.2. We put our ring in and we grind away. It's a bit of a slow process, but we'll get there. And it still needs a bit more. So a bit more grinding to do. Okay, so I've got all the rings gapped now, and I've installed the rings on the pistons, and the new pistons have been installed to the conrods. So what we got to do is bearings. All right, so the crank is in, bends nice and freely. Also, we've replaced these restrictors here. This one is the front restrictor, gets placed with a smaller restrictor, and this one here at the rear gets blanked off. I'm going to slap the pistons in and yeah, get a rotating bottom end assembly. Okay guys, so we have a rotating assembly now. We have our beautiful Nitto pistons installed. Everything's torqued up to spec. Greg has fitted, from NTS, has fitted a new oil pump collar to the crank. So the standard oil pump collar is only about half of that in size. So this is a fix to RBs. You make them larger so that they actually contact all of the oil pump apart from just a little bit of it. So that's one of the must fixes on the RBs. It's definitely an issue, and that's a good part to have. Installed the timing belt tensioner. Now the timing belt tensioner originally on an RB30 sits here, but now we've changed. We need to run an idler and a tensioner because it is obviously a twin cam. You have to drill and tap into the block up here. Now there are specs, I believe it's 33 mil from that hole across and 17.7 mil down from the top of the block. You add that in. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep grinding away at this and get it done, and hopefully get it in the 34 as soon as I can so we can do some testing. So I'm going to keep going, get back to you. Alright guys, so the latest is we're missing some parts. We had some gears sent out for our oil pump. Turns out that we ordered the wrong ones. Gotta wait for them. We have a time crunch. I'm getting a bit stressed. This car has to be tested before Drift Fest. Stressing out, waiting for parts. It's always the way, isn't it?
Oh, we're back. What are you doing?
Okay, so what's happened here is we're getting very close to Christmas.
Less than a week.
We're under a week away from Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, so I pulled the valve springs out thinking that we'll get them. I think we ordered them over a week ago now. Turns out we're not going to see them till the new year now. We need to get this thing running, make sure there's no failures. Anything can happen, you just don't know. The original plan was to basically have it budgetish build. Everyone knows Jason loves driving this car, so he wants it to be reliable and kang. So I'm slapping this head back together now with the original valve springs. Yes, I'm double handling, but it is what it is. Finish up the piping, get it running, make sure there's no issues, and then down the track we'll do drop-in cams and we'll do the valve springs in the car because you can do it. You just need the right tooling. So
cool.
I'm just slapping these.
3 more days till Christmas.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, 1 day till Christmas.
Yeah, 1 day till. Yeah. That's exactly right. We're getting close.
Why it looks like you haven't slept for 4 days?
Feels like it. No oil pressure. Pulled the sump off, pulled the pump off. In the sump, found a lot of material. Like a lot.
It was like a beach.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Wasn't good. Looks like I've stuffed this up. Anyway, started pulling the main caps off and the big end looks good. There's no issues. The pump looks fine. Pulled the pump back apart. Turns out when I cleaned the sump from the 25 that blew up, it looks like some of the material, or a lot of the material, was under the baffle plate. The oils got in, sloshed around, and it made it look like we'd blown the motor. Turns out we haven't blown the motor, so I've pulled it apart. I won't say for nothing, because if it did get oil pressure, there's a chance that all of that would have gone through the motor and destroyed the motor. So we're back to square one. I'm going to put some oil in it. I'm going to crank it, try and get some oil pressure up, and see what happens. Ready? Right, so we are ready. Let's do it.
Moment of truth.
We got oil pressure! Yeah! Yeah!
Shout out to this Reet for smashing this out, putting this together. He's ain't no professional motor builder, but he's done it. And then more the getting this thing ripped apart and put back together in what, half a day, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't mess around.
He gets it done. He's not like me, where I take a whole week to do that job. Where I have taken a week to just do that on the VL. But anyway, shout out James.
Next thing is get it running.
Make some noises.
Make some vroom vrooms.
You didn't know. We'll be thrashing this thing at Drift Fest, so if you haven't got your tickets, it's going nuts right now. So grab your tickets, it's going to be an epic show. I'll be banging some doors. We've got so many cars here, but obviously the Reet fleet, we've got 32, 33, the Ute, and Luke Fank will be there. I think he's driving a different car actually, so I think he's just going to do demos in this. You can have a guess who you think will be driving what cars. So far, the guests that we've got, yeah, obviously they're going to be in rental cars. There's still a few guests to announce. So if we might have announced them already, don't know by the time this video drops, but go check out driftfest.com.au, grab your tickets. There's VIP meet and greet tickets as well, so you can come say g'day, get some stuff signed, special little packs and early access and all that sort of stuff. So driftfest.com.au. Anyway, back to firing this motor up.
PSI of oil pressure. Hey.
Nani?
Got all the oil pressure. That's nice.
Nice. Give Reet's first 20x30.
We did it.
Built by James.
So what's next?
What we have to do next is pull it back apart.